Testing. I don't think this is. Okay, look at that. I think it's working. Is it working? I don't know. You tell me. All right. So I'm trying. Yeah, I think it's working. I can't tell. All right. So this setup I have right here. I can't even see the screen. I'm using my laptop to be the camera, and yeah. So instead of using the iPhone, which I've been using a camera, that way I could plug the battery into the laptop, and it should not so much for these because I don't be going on for that long. But when I do the music, it always freezes because I just be doing my thing. All right, let me get this set up on my end. Hey, there I am. All right. I mean that one thing. Let me see how it renders out. I mean the I can't speak, man. It seems like the visuals are not so great, but we could fix that with a little webcam or something. All right, how do we get in here? All right, so I want to start. Actually, how do we get in here? I am so. All right, there we are. We in here. Hey, who's this? We got KS Lease 85. Where you from? What you doing? And stuff like that. All right. So I really have nothing to talk about, but I want to hear from you guys. I want to know what you guys are doing during these crazy times because it's crazy, man. Every day I wake up, I try to avoid social media. In fact, I jump on the social media so people don't have to think about the shit that's going on. So you're not going to hear me go detailing about. I mean, it's bad. No one knows shit, but if I could be the oasis in these times, Maryland. All right. All right. Yo, where you from, Richard? Maryland. I was just saying the other day, I need to see more states. I need to see the world, man. If the coronavirus didn't go down, I would have already had my ticket to go to Germany. That was the plan. Go to Germany, pop over to Italy. Yeah, I know Italy. And then I was gonna head over to France. And then I don't know, I was planning to stay like forever. Massachusetts. All right, Frank. I'm from New York. I live in Texas. Man, I want to go. As I say, I want to visit every state because, like, in Japan, there's people who's been to more states than me, and I'm from America. I'm from Pennsylvania, so I've been in New Jersey, New York. I think I drove to North Carolina, South Carolina, wherever the base is, because my brother is still in the military, so we drove down there. But that's it. I stopped over in Minneapolis. I think I stopped over in the Windy City. But yeah. All right, painting. I have a garden just painting fences and planting stuff. That's dope. But where you from, Frank? Let's see here. It would have to be a warm place. Well, I guess it's spring everywhere. The east side of the world. I don't know. The garden equals body, 7 paint fences, assassin. I hope he's not an assassin, but if he's on this channel, he means he's on our side. So yeah. So like, check this out, right? Here's in the Rubik's cube. I always say but there's no in there. And you could probably hear this is how old it is. It needs oil or some shit. Usually when it gets to this part, you start twisting, it just breaks and it like dust comes out. So they invented or they revamped it with this. I don't know how it's, but it doesn't squeak anymore. But it is loud as hell. I'll be on the train when I'll be playing with this. It is the only sound you hear. Like, South Carolina. I grew up in Philly, moved to Baltimore. I lived in Philly. I went to Temple. But when I was at Temple, I like this quarantine thing. For the most part, this has been my life. In Philly, I was in my room making music. Came to Japan, I was in my room making music. When I was living in my house, I was in the attic making music. And before streaming and all this, I was talking to a camera making DVDs. Like this, I was built for this. Oh, well, it is what it is. I don't know if I was built for it, but it is. This is normal for me. Yeah. Bust out a freestyle. I'll go by your voice is built. All right, thank you. All right, Chicano, where you from? All right, let's see. I'm just gonna go down the list. See if I got my music set up. It's just gonna be a cappella. All right, starting from the top. I logged on to this. I have my internal bop. When I'm freestyling, I'm always on the clock. The first person who popped up said, "Hey," I said, "What?" KS Soli 85 on the dot. Then we moved down. There's Frank from H Town. I think that's Hexico, Mexico. I gotta figure this out as I spit my flow because I can't think. Oh, there I go. Baltimore. We gotta twist the language, make it work and such. Andrew said, "Hey Ryman, what's up?" Back down there, the guy said he missed the freestyle flow because you know I'm that mister who flipped them tracks off the top. I'll be vicious. Twist the language. That's the way that we rip stuff. Dude from Massachusetts. Every time I spew shit, man was from New York, but he moved over to Texas, Houston. So when I be rap, maybe he not there. Said he got bodies and assassin. Yeah, he grew up in Philly. I like to travel to. Always wanted to come to Japan. After the corona, you should come through. And I say this, I mean this from the bottom of my heart. If you able to link up, I'll give you a rhyming talk. See, I twist the language. That's the way that I do it. He said, Buster freestyle. I just do this. Another person from Dallas, Texas. Wow, that's two in the chat. Maybe y'all cross paths when you was out. Probably not. Who knows? I got 3 thumbs up. Been watching you since the beginning. That's what's up from Montana. Never been there. I wish I had my music, but today it's not. Actually, I'm gonna jump on the other channel to do the music. But I'm trying to, you know, separate the channels so this doesn't look good. Yeah, so I teach kids, right? And whenever I be like, when we teach them prepositions, so we got on, under, beside, and in. And I just do it because they're kids. I'm not expecting their minds to go there, but I start seeing them doing this. Like, what the? They're not so innocent out here, man. They're kids. But I'm happy because kids should be doing kids things. Yes, I'm a teacher. I've been that's let's see here. I've been teaching 12 years, I guess. But I'll say this, I wasn't a teacher. When I first came out here, I was just some guy working in this building, whatever. But now I feel like I'm a teacher because, you know, like I really what do you say? Um I really care. Like when I first started, I guess I didn't care so much. I just wanted to be out here, and you've seen the videos. I was out here doing my thing. But now, I'm older, and the kids are the future. Not to be cliche, but they are. And we got to prepare them for this crazy world we're living in. So I feel what I'm doing here over here, teaching them how to, I don't even teach them how to speak English. I teach them how to live. I mean, I am teaching them grammar and all that shit, but I try to give them life lessons if their level's high enough. I try to I don't be hitting them with philosophy when they are young and shit. All right. Yeah, 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 yeah. Weren't you working? Yeah, I remember that one. Okay, wait. Going down here. Weren't you work? So, as a teacher, how to say this? 'Cause I was trying to explain this to someone and they got super offended. I'm like, I said, teaching in Japan is like working at McDonald's. They were their teacher in the States. I was home for Christmas. And they're like, what you say? I said, teaching in Japan is like working for McDonald's. And they, but I say this because, we, but sometimes they give you some flexibility and all that shit. So, yes, teaching them how to think. Yes, sir. Nate, where you from? Where you from? Where you from? What up, George? I seen you posting, and let's link up if you're still in Japan, and we'll figure something out. Yeah, Maryland. I was looking. You can see the monkey one over there. Because when I moved here about a year and 2 days now, right? I lived here, and I had all this wall space. I didn't have so much before, and it's like push pin wall space. I think my old crib was like a sheetrock or some shit. So I'm like, I got to put things on the wall. So I was going to put my posters. I mean, in the beginning, I had one of these on the wall, something like this. But I'm going to move that to the other room. So make this the music room and then make that the photography room. Yeah. Can I get you to rap on a song? Can you rap on one of your songs? I feel so alone for it. Yo, man. I don't know if were you. Oh wait, where we going? Andrew, were you the one that was here a couple of weeks ago? I'm living Minneapolis. Yeah, I was in wow, man. There was someone I can't keep track, but there was someone from Minneapolis the other yesterday. And I was saying I went to the Mall of America. That shit is dope. Dope. Wow, this is well, just keep reposting if I forget the question because I'm just gonna go down. Yes, I still do photography. I had this crazy shoot. If I would have known Corona times were coming, I probably wouldn't have done this shoot. But I rented a macro lens, right? And I was going to take super close ups of the body, right? And I had like 8 shoots in 3 days. So I rented studios, I rented hotels, and yeah, so I just took all these shots. And now the coronavirus came up, like shit, because now I put all my I've been buying all this gear for my the studio. But either way, the photos are dope, like like super close up of the eyes, get the lights, skin tones, and all that shit. Do I have any pets? Yo, all right. Before I get that, yeah. So you're saying you're going down to Kyoto. I live in Yokohama. That's like Shinkansen 3 hours away. So yeah. But next time, if you come, just let me know in advance, and if it's possible, I'll even pick you up at the airport if it's possible. Probably not though. Do I have any pets? No. I have a pet bear. If you've seen any of my music videos, anytime I'm performing, there's this little bear that's like somewhere. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. I got one. Uh, George, I'm living in Totska. Totska, it's like on the train is 10 minutes away. Yeah. All right. McDonald's ribs, so that might be okay. Okay. Rap one of your songs. I feel so long. Yo, so I can't find this song because I got all these songs and they're like just well, what's happening is I'm just cursed. Every few months, one of my hard drives, one of my expensive hard drives that I just bought, formatted for the Mac, will crash. and this will be like my backup. Like you know how Mac has the time stamp, time sheet, time shared, time machine. So I'll set that up. So when that crashes, it's a bunch of files that are not they're like inside of folders or what have you. So then when I get the next one, now I have two time machines. And then as the time goes on, I forget about it. Because while this is all happening, I'm like, I'm gonna delete this file because it's on my backup. So like that song, I lost that period. There's like a couple songs I made that I was digging for them. I did find the original, like the music to it, so I could do it. But yeah, what we got here? I love the songs where you're sitting on the steps. Whatever happened to the girl singing in Japanese? Wait. Let's go back here. Kawasaki. All right, we're close-ish. All right. I love the song where you're sitting on the steps. Whatever happened to the girl singing in Japanese? Japanese singer. Japanese singer. Who was I guess you're talking about Mami Sue. Mommy says Sue. Your guess is as good as mine. I mean, if you followed her on anything, I think she still posts on any of those social medias. Maybe I'll reach out to her and ask if she's okay. This is the time to find out if people are okay, right? Day 142. I don't even remember the numbers. I remember 100, 200, and 300 because I remember I got to make those big because it ends on a number. I remember my birthday. There's one. It's my birthday. I think it's a day after my birthday, and I'm rapping, and I'm just yeah. All right. All right. Brooklyn. So many Brooklyn peoples. Well, it makes sense, I guess. I'm from Pennsylvania, but yeah, one of these days when I come back from the States, I want to meet up with y'all Brooklyn, Philly, Jersey people, but I don't know the logistics. Plus, oh, man, I'm not a people person, if that makes sense. I mean, we could talk one on one. That would be cool. But if it's a group of people, maybe if it's a group of people, I can do a show. That would make sense. But like to have a round table, I would feel awkward. Maybe I just got to get over that, but I don't know. But eventually, after this Corona thing is over, which I do believe will be over when just gotta stay inside. So I'm doing my part. I'm gonna make these videos to keep people inside, and then I'll get like a medal from not Trump, some other guy, the next president. Like I saw what you're doing out there. All right, we've got how's it going? Yo, bruh man from the fifth floor. Where you from? Bruh man. Is that from Martin? What up, brother man? From the fifth floor. Yeah, that's Martin, right? Let's see here. Are you using the W? So hard drive wise, I use Lacey's and I use WDs. And recently I started using Sam SanDisk. But all of them, I think my computer's infected with too much hotness and it's burning. I'm serious, man, because I like that. I got a new computer because of these stupid ass hard drives. Because I got this computer fairly new. I get my hard drives, and then it starts acting funny. I lost the hard drive. I'm calling up Apple. We're going back and forth, and then the computer is starting to be all glitchy and shit. So I go up and they're like, "Listen, I want." So then I bring the computer to the Apple store and they delete all my shit. Of course, it wasn't backed up. And then my iPhone froze and they deleted all that shit. So I lost a bunch of shit. The hard drive that it was backed on. So yeah, long story short. So after a year of this, after people don't know, when I dig in, when I'm focused, I'm an ass, and I'm so anyway. I told Apple, I kept bumping up to the up until I got to the manager dude, and I'm just like, listen, man, I've been a customer since the G3 Mac, the Power Max with the big ass tube screen thingies, and I don't appreciate the way you treated me. I'm a valued customer. We're talking for hours and hours and hours, and finally he's like, all right, So I go to Apple Store, like, hey, here's a new computer. Yeah, I won. But truthfully, I'd rather not win. I just wanted to get my because it's gone. It's in the ether. I don't ever think I'll ever get that back. All right, what we got here? What is the process when you're freestyling the words in your mind, like they just appear in a conveyor belt? Let's see here. Freestyle. So, as I said in the beginning of this, I've always been in that house making music when the world was out. So back in high school, friends would be going off to the football games. I'd be in the attic rapping by myself because they were supposed to come over, but they went to the football games. Don't get me wrong. I did go to the football games to stunt when I had some new South Pole clothes. So I just sit there, or when I would be walking home from work, because I never had a car. I could drive, drove my mama's car, drove my brother's car. That's about it. I drove some rental cars. So I've always been freestyling. And I guess it's like anything. Well, use karate, kendo. All right. So if you keep doing this, something like that, eventually it just becomes rote. In fact, it's kind of like this, right? So here's the white, and I could basically get the whites without even thinking about it because for like forever, all I did was the Rubik's Cube. That was my nerd like stuff. Jump, 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 jump. So without thinking, it's just there, Pyom, 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 and boom, like this. So the sequence is ingrained in my motor memory. So rhyming is kind of like that. I know hat rhymes with black. And I also know that's a simple rap. So I find myself sometimes trying not to do it. That's on some next level shit. So then by not doing it, it gives me another. My name is Matt and I'm a. Sorry, my name is Matt and I am black. That's what I was saying. But I might say, my name is Matt and I'm a boy. Boy doesn't rhyme with Matt. But now I have to flip it off of something else. My name is Matt and I'm a boy. When I was young, I played with toys. But then I can't rhyme toys. So it's my name is Matt and I'm a boy. When I was young, I played with Legos. And then the call back or rap back like that is all happening in my head. I used to think everyone can do this. And I think everyone could, but you got to get your 10,000 hours in. I think from high school, let's see, I started rapping when I was, I want to say 12, 8, elementary, rhyming. But I think seriously when I was 16 and just walking home from work, etc. So yeah, that's the process. But the 365, it kind of glued everything together because now I got to, well, I like to tell stories. So like let's see, I met her on the train going down to, I met her on the plane coming back from Narita. She said she was a baker, so I named her Anita. From takeoff to lift to take off to lift off, we was the amigos. Shorty bad and bougie, but I think that she knows. Uh, Said she doesn't come home so much. Doesn't come home so much, but she was a cutie. I said I give her the tour like we over on duty. She said, "Wait, like soldier boy acting unruly. Her man's in LA and he'll actually shoot me." Like that. Just picking new words to rap or something like that. All right, where we at here? Grinding. Yeah. I don't know what happened to her. She kind of disappeared. It was weird because she just disappeared. She didn't disappear. I know a friend of mine who's closer to her than I was says she's okay. And recently, like a year ago, she popped up on social media. Like, hey, I'm back. Like, where did you go? All right. Yeah, Yeah, it's from Martian. Yeah, Martin. Yeah. Martin. I went with Samsung. I've been using 6 years. I mean, what I describe for the hard drives when I was telling the Apple guys like, yeah, those are good, bro. They are, and they're a good price point. They ain't some weird brand name, and I mean they're not here. But I got 10 hard drives. My WD drives that I had 10 years ago work. Right, I can still access the files on them. But the drive that I bought last year doesn't work, which is mind-boggling. It's annoying as hell. Da-da-da-da. ADA makes good drives. I mean, the one reason I mess with WDs is because they got that. If I can remember, sometimes I forget. But if you complain, if you say, "Yeah, these drives are broken," they'll give you a new drive at the end of the warranty, so you can like get a new drive. Maybe they cursed me. I buy the small ones. Yeah, man. Now that these hard drives, because I'm just scared, man. Now that these hard drives are giving you like 20 TBs, right? Ain't doing it. I'd rather have a 1 TB or 500 specific for something. That way I can make, so for my beat machine, it's about 500 gigs. That way I could back it up easily. Because the other thing, you get like 2 TBs of stuff, right? And then to transfer to another thing, for whatever reason, it's not moving at those accelerated speeds. It's like moving like it's a floppy. That shit. And then things don't always cut. Man. F out here. All right, I'm on Windows, not Apple. You just want your data. You have to back up your most. Well, here's the thing about backing up to the cloud. I don't got no internet. I mean, I have internet here, but it's the most slowest. Like I can't. Like if this was super HD, the stream wouldn't work, and I can't seem to get any fast internet in this apartment because they can't drill holes in here. I tried 2 companies, so I got to work that out. Because once I could get that speed, then we're gonna see some. We're gonna take it to the top. Let's see here. Who's your favorite rapper growing up, and are you a J. Cole fan? Let's see. Favorite rappers. I kind of forgot, man. I just watched it, the second part. If you've seen it, and they're saying how they forgot about their childhood. I don't think I was traumatized or there was a scary clown trying to kill me, but I just don't remember things until it comes up. So the other day I was listening to some dope beats I like. And of course, with the dope beats come the artists who made it. And it was starting to come back. So let's see, we got Method Man because of his versatility. I came to bring the pain hardcore from the brain. Let me get inside your astral plane, find out your mental based on instrumentals, records, hate, so I could write monumental stamp. So I noticed instrumental, monumental. I don't say them verbatim, but I have that kind of cadence. Because now the crazy thing is, he was talking about, his name's Method Man, Iron Lungs, smoking, all that never really, I didn't know what he was talking about, but just the way he said shit. Another one from the Wu-Tang Clan would have to be Inspector Deck, the Rebel Lioness. The best verse has to be off Triumph. I bomb atomically. Socrates' philosophies and hypotheses can't describe how I'll be dropping these mockeries. Lyrically perform all robberies, flee with the lottery. That's like it's ingrained in my brain. Let's see here. I wasn't a big Tupac or Biggie fan, but I do like Mama. It taught me you could write songs about serious shit like that. And Biggie, he played around with the words. Jesus, the notorious, just please us with the lyrical thesis. We top billing. Like he always did that kind of word thing. So it kind of stuck with me. JD and the Brat. It's the D-O double G. It's they always spelled their names. So Snoop did that. The Brat did that. JD did that. Um, There was a phase when my voice didn't modulate so much, mostly because I was shy and trying to find myself. So I kind of gravitated to monotone rappers, Gangstar or Guru, Puff Daddy, Mace. Um, but I also like those who were all loud and shit, Busta Rhymes. Woo ha, got you all in check. But I wasn't there yet. Now I can get on stage and do something like that. I also like rappers who sing. So Wyclef, someone please call 911. Andre 3000. I mean, for the singing, sorry, Miss Jackson. And for his off the wallness. And for like now he's running around saying how he's depressed and music doesn't do it for him anymore. That's a real talk because no one really talks about that. And even though I'm not like a super billion multi-platinum selling guy, I feel what he's saying. And I think most artists go through that phase. Is there more to life than this when you achieve your little milestones? Uh Ice Cube, not so much for the music, but his business sense. So I guess I like rappers for everything, their presentation. Most Def, he comes into a cipher. He also sang versatile, and he also went a little crazy, or not crazy, but he went off to Africa and did all that. Talib is not on my list. I like Most Def. I like the group, but usually I would fast forward past Talib stuff because I just, especially when he's talking on Twitter like that. Lauren Hill, singer, rapper, she was dope. She's in my top 10. I don't have top 10s, but she's always going to come up because ooh, 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 ooh. I love artists who could sing, and usually women have the nice voices to go with it. But uh, who else is in there? Jay-Z. I like Jay-Z because again, monotone rapper, and he'd be like, my mind's like a Rubik's cube. We could twist and turn. Well, he wouldn't say that kind. He probably said, my mind's like a Marilyn Monroe. I got the little mole on my face. That's what he would say. And he got longevity because he's just still been around. His new stuff, I mean, again, he's usually talking about selling drugs and all that. So the content wise didn't care much, but he dropped gems in between those things. All right, let's see here. Thanks for answering the riddle. Do you think Eminem is a good rapper? Of course, Eminem is a dope rapper. I mean, that's not even a conversation. Now, do I listen to his music? Nah. I like 8 Mile. I like Sorry Mama. I like most songs with mamas in them. So Boys to Men, Mama. That's when I have a wedding. I want to play that song. I liked his stupid accent voices. Maybe one of my favorite songs is I can't even remember, but he's the whole song he's rapping in his dumbass accent. I don't care so much for him singing on his hooks, but I also sing on my hooks, so I know where he's coming from. I respect all the rappers who could, because I got one song where I'm like, can I pull it up? Can I pull it out that mental Rolodex? Well, if it comes to me, but I spent time writing a super fast lyrical miracle spiritual type rap. So I respect all the artists who can do that because it takes your mouth got to move in a certain way to get the enunciation and the pronunciation out. And you gotta be on beat and you're on stage and just so respect to all those people who do that. Now, with that being said, depending on my mood, I don't care that you're doing that. I prefer a slow Jay-Z. Like I told him to sell drugs. Now Hove did that, so hopefully you ain't have to go through that. I was raised in the project, wrote like that. Now, again, topic-wise, it has nothing to do with me, but just so Cameron, he comes into that conversation. He's he got a Jim Jones, not Jim Jones, Jules Santana, fabulous, punchlines. He made me want to write punchlines. I don't write punchlines, but he damn. Eric Sermon, all the producers who could rap on their own beats. So Swiss, Wyclef, RZA, Timberland, Pharrell. I think I said Eric Sermon. Pete Rock might have rapped on some of his things. I'm not sure. Um, uh, and everyone else I didn't mention, but that's dope, man. To rap on your own beats is not because one, you got yeah. All right, keep it moving, keep it moving. All right, think of China. Do you know Zen Cut City? I do not. I'm currently working on an EP, and one of your songs is a hip hop. What do you think of a rock and hip hop being I'm currently working on an EP, and one of the cuts on the hip hop. What do you think? I think do it. I think if you put yourself in a box, you're gonna stay in a box. Like there is no rules to most of this shit. Of course, you shouldn't shoot people in the back of the head. That's a rule we should think. And right now, we should kind of stay in the house and we should cough into our elbows and shit. When it comes to music, don't. Most of the people I mentioned that I like, they broke the boxes. They took a little walk outside of it because, you know, yeah. So definitely. In fact, the one that comes to mind is what Aerosmith and Run DMC, the first song to cross over, first song to break records. Could you imagine how rap? Could you imagine if we can go back in time, right? And then Marty McFly broke that. He's like, it didn't happen. We would see a different world, for good or worse. Who knows how it would turn out? Did you listen to Eric B and Rakim? So I got this thing, man. I listen to. I don't go out my way to listen to people that I should listen to. Like for instance, I didn't listen to Jay-Z's Reasonable Doubts until I seen it at Best Buy for $5. So I gave it a listen through, and I didn't really like it. It ain't going to be in my top 10. It's not a classic to me. I preferred Blueprint 3, maybe. I think the one where the Annie was on there, that the remix of that one. So yeah. So now it goes into an old head, young head thing, but it's not that. It's for me, music is it's like your back. It's your soundtrack. So if you grew up and Eric B or whoever was playing in the background, it's not just the music that's infused into that. It's all right. Let me get an example. Again, Triumph. When Triumph came out, or when they got played on the radio, like regular radio, mainstream top 40, right? I was in the car with my friends. We're in his mom's minivan. Like, let's listen to the details, right? We're in his mom's purple minivan. There's about 6 of us, boys. We're going to the mall. It might have been a Friday, because that's makes sense, right? We're going to the mall, and we hear, ooh, ladies and gentlemen, it's the old mother. I mean, and then it comes, I bomb atomically. So we pulled the car over. We parked, and we just sat there as the world turns us. We didn't know the words yet, but we're just. So that song is ingrained in me. Now, if I heard "Walk This Way," all I know is it's a song that always shows up in the thing, but it doesn't. Nothing happens for me. No feeling. If we come to the future, Drake song, you used to call me on the cell phone. Pew, 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 pew. Right? So that song, I don't own a Drake CD. I don't think I ever bought his music, but or whatever. But I was at the photo shoot, and one of the models had their mix, and it came on. And when it came on, we all just started being stupid with it. So then I went to the club, and I saw that everyone gets stupid with it. There's another song of Drake's. I forget the. It's in my head. It's a song where the dude's like the song where they do the shoot dance, and Drake's doing it, and I think from that point that's when it got really popular. So I was in the club and this dude was doing it, and it was just crazy because every time he did it, everyone go around like, oh, and it was to the soundtrack of that. So that's how I like songs. If someone told me I have to, this goes for anything, media, music. If you tell me I have to like it, I automatically don't like it because don't tell me what to like. Let's see here. Ryan, starting watches 7 years ago. Your perspective chance has it changed? Yeah, yeah. Look alive, look alive, look alive. Shorty from the other side for the that shit. I mean, I like Drake. He's a character. I mean, personal feel. I don't take him serious because clearly he. I mean, from what my understanding, he didn't come from where he comes. A lot of rappers don't. Could you imagine? Like you guys have been watching me for 8 years, 10 years, 5 days, whatever, and then tomorrow I get signed to some record label, and I'm like, I used to slang dope, dope. I was slanging, and the songs had the beats good. I got features, I get cosigns, but you like that. That's who the hell is? You'd be upset, and you'd be like, yo, that's not even him, man. But if the song's dope, people like like kind of Rick Ross, like yeah, yeah, whatever. But the song's dope, so yeah. Um, yeah, you hit on the nail. Do you ever? Well, this one day when it's time to release my thoughts in some physical form, whatever. But you ever notice most of the rappers they go onto TV, they act. So so we got Drake, Method Man acted, Redman acted, kinda, not really. Eminem was an actor, but technically he didn't act. He was just acting like himself. Ice T, he's a cop. He's acting. Most Def is acting. Childish Gambino, Eve, Queen Latifah, Tupac, DMX, and so on. Now, when you act, you got to get into that mindset. So if we use Robert De Niro, is he really killing people? No. But when he gets into that, or the Joker, the dude who died, they got to get into that mindset. So you get these actor rappers who do this. So they can make us like I would be a very bad. You wouldn't believe I could be me. I could do an Eminem kind of acting. Hey, this is me doing me. But yeah, yeah, yeah. So I'm just going off on tangents. All right, let's see here. Let me see. Let me see. Has my perspective changed of Japan? Yeah, it has. It has. It has. When I first came, as many of you know, I came here like I'm not gonna learn Japanese. I don't want to. There's a video up, right? That was my thing. So after I graduated from MBA school, and it was like, yeah, here's your MBA, congratulations. And I went off to go job hunting. Oh shit, I forgot. So yeah, I worked for Sony as a kind of they sent me to the Sony office. I go to different companies. I worked at Bosch car company. I worked at some old school Japanese company, Sony, etc. I work at Apple. But basically, I go in there. It could be a little office room, and I help the engineers or whoever with their English. I just like Sony company, so I always post I work at Sony. But yeah, yeah, yeah. But so I was trying to work at these companies, but they're like, "So how's your Japanese?" I'm like, it is, which is slang for I don't speak it that well. They're like, well, we're sorry, we can't really hire you until you speak it. So then I got really serious about learning Japanese. And I remember in that 3 month period, I would wake up at like 4 a.m., crack open the books. I would be air drawing my kanji. I would be talking to my girlfriend at the time. Why is this and this? And why is that? And she's, oh my gosh, you're studying so hard. And he said, what happened? Well, the same girlfriend at the time, she bought me a camera. So then it became studying the camera. So when Japanese, next thing you know, I'm all focused on learning how to shoot my photos and stuff. And Japan went out the thing. So that was one big thing that changed my thing. Because when I started studying, I saw that my learning, my age is kind of close to where the students are at. So we're going through the same shit. and it kind of helped me become a better teacher because I understand this the frustration of why certain things, most languages have those. Well, it's usually this way, but this way, it's in this case, it's never that way, and there's really no reason for it. And you scratch your head, especially if you're sitting alone in your house. Yeah, yeah. All right. Let's see here. Yeah. Any underrated places in Japan that you love? Underrated. Um, Japan is pretty interesting. Most people love most places, I guess. Um, so I guess I'll say my favorite place would be Shibuya. Well, I used to love Shibuya, but now, and this is crazy. This is one change. So I am a foreigner. I'm not Japanese, but when I go to Shibuya, there's a bunch of foreigners and tourists there, and it's just like, oh my gosh, because they just be standing there taking pictures. Now I did the same thing too, so it's not even. I know it's hypocritical and ironic, but when I go like for Halloween, right? I need to get something at the store. I know in Shibuya there's a store. It's about 10 minutes from the station. Now this is Halloween weekend, right? So there's a bunch of foreigners standing around doing nothing. So I get out the train. I take 3 steps, like fuck that. Turn around and I go to Nakameguro and I go there because I just don't want to deal with it. Not anymore. So that's one thing that changed. Um, uh, maybe now this is a hard concept. I don't know. I'm just putting out there, whatever. So my. So when I came, I'm not even gonna say it. Actually, I started. Let me just. All right. So now let me back up. So when I was in the States, I never thought about Japan. I never fetishized about Japanese Asian women. It was never my thing. I never watched anime. All I cared about was Sony, Motorola. I didn't know Nintendo was a Japanese company, but yeah, things like that. So when I got here, that's when I'm like, oh wow, let me get one of these Japanese girls. I was in college last year, and but I guess Japanese girls are like any other girls, women, the good points, bad points, and I guess after being here for 12 years, whatever, it is what it is. I want to date me an Indian girl. I live in Japan, so that's gonna be rare, and I don't even go to Indian places like that. But I guess that's one thing that changed. Another thing, um, sympathy or empathy. I think a lot of foreigners, when they come out here, they'd be like, "Yo, Japanese people are so," and Japanese people, but there's reasons for that. It's historical. It, for it's going to be It'd be very difficult for things to change very quickly because you want them to, right? Like when I come back from Japan, I need to snap out of that. Everyone is gonna do it because it's America. This is America. Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. Whoop, whoop. Well, this is Japan. I never used to say that because I used to get stopped by the police all the time, and it's like, why the fuck they gotta stop me? There's rules to shit. So yeah, yeah. I didn't really answer it really succinctly, but you get my idea. Things are changing. Big, big things that are changing. Um, yeah, 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 yeah. All right, where we at here? I remember that old videos that you talk about that. I moved 2 years ago, and I was feeling I was gonna wait, what? I Yeah, I remember that old video of you when you were to the cleaners talking about. Ah, yeah, 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 yeah. Devin Morrison. Yo, Devin. So here's another thing. It is what it is. I get it. It is what it is. So some people have been watching me for a long time. And we talk. They might have sent me messages. They might even bought some things, whatever, right? And then they come out here. Now they live in Japan. And I was saying this yesterday, and I always say it is what it is. I understand it. But It's just weird, right? So they're here in Japan. They're living out here, living their dream. And now, granted, I'm not going to drink with you, and I'm not smoking with you, and I'm not. Basically, the bills you can get from me is you can meet me at a show. We could go to a cafe. We could walk around in a park, go to the bookstore. Yeah, boring. I know. So they come out here and we just don't meet. They're doing whatever they're doing. And then I might be at the club, or I might be coming from the club, going to the club in this area around the club, or just some random place. And then they'll be like, "Hey, Ryman." I'll be like, "Yo, what's up?" And they're like, "Yo, I used to watch you." And my friend used to watch me. Now, granted, my content's changed as I get older, things are whatever. But so anyway, I was at this club, this beat show. Uh, People were playing their beats, and I'm watching. And at the end, I was there on reconnaissance. I was scoping out the place because I'm with this group that we do beats. We're looking for beat makers. So I'm out there doing some research. But it was dope, man. I can't deny that. I was like, shit, I want to be on stage doing this too. So at the end of the show, or well, later on that night, I'm standing there, and then from behind, he's like, "Yo, Ryman, what's up?" And I turn around, and there's Devin. Didn't know he was Devin. Like, yeah, I used to watch you. Blah da 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 da. And he just got on stage. He was the only black dude at this event, so of course I knew who I saw. Black dude. But I was doing that thing, and I do it. It's just because you're black doesn't mean I'm gonna be like, "What's up?" But sometimes I might. It depends on my mood at the time. But anyway, so he's like, "What's up? I used to watch you." I'm like, "Yo, you were dope." He's like, "Thanks." And then that was that. Then I posted on my Facebook, I'm looking for beat makers for my competition, and someone reached out and says, "Yo, hit up Devin." Like, "Oh yeah, Devin." I hit up Devin, and he came out to the event and he killed it. And then he moved back to the States. But that's kind of the trajectory of most people out in Japan. They watch me, they're here. I bump into him. There's one dude I bump into him like every year and a half, every 3 years, and it's like, "Oh man, we gotta meet up," but we never do. But I'm used to it. It is what it is. You know what? It is what it is. Yeah. All right. Curly in concept. Raphael Yor. Yo, where are you from? Where are you from? Where are you from? Where are you? Where you rest your head? Where are you from is what we're saying. I don't watch other vloggers. In fact, I don't make videos. This I stopped officially making videos in it was not a date, but the last I was doing my thoughts of the day or some shit like that. And then I just stopped. And I don't regret it. I mean, it'd be great if I kept it up because then whatever. But I wasn't mentally in a space to want to do it. Like you really need to want to you should never be forced to do stuff you don't want to do. And luckily I wasn't making a great big income from, or I still don't. But I wasn't making so much money where it's like shit, if I stop, then I'm gonna have to move out the big house. Nah. So I took my break, photography and all that shit. So I don't really watch other vloggers. I mean, I never did outside of research, or if we're similar, or if whatever. Like let's see here. There's what's her name? This is YouTube 1.0. I think I'm 2.0, but so back in the day, what's her name? Kimmy Kimuch, you know the name, right? The girl who can speak Japanese, is black, whatever. So I really want to meet up with her. Like I really she lives here. We're in the same so I was really but I never came to pass. But again, I don't watch her either, so whatever. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Let's see. Canada from a city called Nah, I there was one time I did this list where I was searching for all the black people in Japan making videos. And three interesting things came out. The first one, everyone talking about racism. Not everyone, but most of it, yeah, in Japan. So that turned me off. Like, because I talked about it and everyone before me talked about it. It's just, this is never ending. People are always going to come out here regardless. It's like, don't put your hand in the hot pot. You're going to get burnt. And they're like, okay, okay. And then they come out here and now it's not like, mm. So yeah, and then they make a whole video about it, and then the people who watch them, oh my gosh, Japan is hot. Japan has always been this. You remember, Japan was the country that if you were a foreigner, they chop off your head. You remember, like that's the history of Japan. So it is what it is, right? Now it's changing, kids, whatever. But so that's one thing. The second thing, I'll just leave that too. The second one is when they're listing or claiming or talking about the people that inspire them or people are doing this, or okay, that could be three. So two would be like they would say, there's not many black people making videos on YouTube, so I'm going to be the first black person. I'm like, excuse me? Like, do your research. Just a quick Google check, and you'll find who was before me. Black in Tokyo or black in Tokyo. So he was one, and then there was yellow passenger, black passenger, yellow taxi. He was the other one. Then there's he wasn't making vlogs, but he's doing blogs. They're cousins. There was Baye, and then there was so it was there. Now I like to believe, and then there was Ralph out in Osaka, and all those guys doing it, and then there's me. So there's a whole bunch of people doing it, and then for them to get up on there like, oh, we're the first. And then last, they had a list of people you should check out. I wasn't on that list. It's like I didn't exist. So it kind of turned me off trying to reinvent the wheel. It is what it is. I get it. You're not going to find me if you're not looking for black guy who can do the Rubik's Cube living in Japan. Those are keywords no one is searching. It would have to be black guy tells you how to get a girlfriend. Black guy is eating sushi, which was never my content. So, yeah. What are important things to know if someone to teach English in Japan? All right. Before that one, will I ever make vlogs again? Probably not. Like this is quarantine time, but if this wasn't quarantine time, I would be at work right now. There's no reason for me to be here. And then usually I work 2 jobs, 3 jobs, 2.5. So I'm usually at work, and then when I'm not working, that free time, I try to do something, write my lyrics or do photography or read a book. So free time is a luxury that I usually didn't have. The second thing, I miss this, sharing my thoughts, building, connecting with people around the world. It's a beautiful thing. Like some of you guys, I'll never meet you in flesh, but the conversation that we're having is meaningful. And then when I do meet people, when they do come out here, and we like I take them on the Shibuya tour. We walk around Shibuya for like 2 hours and we just talk. They tell me about their life. We're bonding and sharing shit. Like that's amazing. People I probably never would have met any other way. So I do love this aspect of it. But the dark side is like, I mean, I'm amazed I didn't bring it up earlier because I just didn't. But someone hit me up today on Instagram. They hit me up on Monday, like, hey, can we do a song? I'm like, well, they said, hey, what's up? I said, what's up? Then they hit me with this paragraph. Can you do something for me? So I start clicking on their page to see what they do. There's nothing there. There's no picture. There's no music. There's no links to a website. So whatever. So I get this email this morning saying, whatever. I guess I'm not good enough. It's a black dude, and they're talking like that, and I'm like, so I write an email like, yo, I didn't see any proof that you can do anything, and lots of people ask me every day to do stuff, and and then just coming, and I even signed it, RG. It wasn't some. I ain't trying to be a dick. And then he responds, "Whatever. I was just cutting it off because you didn't." Like that shit annoys the hell out of me. I don't. As I just said, it's fun to build with people, but obviously we're not. We didn't go to high school together. We don't know each other's moms. There got to be some lines that are drawn where between, So that annoys. And I wanted to email him back like, listen, man, I don't know you, and I'm just. But what's the point? It's and on that case, it's not even like he's a troll, but he's just it's the wrong. Like I got another email. I get these all the time. They just I don't like it. The dude he hits me up. He's like, hey man. I'm like, okay, what's up? He's like, how are you doing? I'm chilling. Oh yeah, I'm chilling too. I'm bored. Don't ever email me saying you're bored. Like I'm not bored. I'm doing something, and me talking to you is stopping me from doing. And every time I say it, I sound like a dick. Oh, I'm just trying to reach out. Like there's other ways to go about that. So anyway, this same guy, he's like, "Hey man, I need your help. A friend of mine needs something and they need your Japanese skill. I know you're fluent." So I say, "Listen, I'm sorry about your friend, but I'm not fluent. I use Google Translate. I hope your friend feels better." Now, I was expecting a um well, thank you for responding and I'll try that, or here's the update. Nothing. It- So the reason I don't want to vlog because I need to figure out how to balance that. Like I'm a real person. I don't use bots. I don't use any automated systems. I see every email unless I block you. Then it goes into that that. I don't know. I don't even know where it goes. But so things do get to me. I don't take it personally. I'm not gonna. So that's another way I change it. It is what it is. It is what it is. And I Anyway, I'm just rambling over there. All right. Let's see what should I do. I'm filming a competition. Let me know collab videos. Hope you're big chilling. Just curious, see what comes to your mind when you hear echoes of the soul. Echoes of the soul. Just out of curiosity, echoes of the soul. There's a book called Seed of the Soul. I so I'm thinking it's on some spiritual. A friend of mine recommended it to me. It was mind blowing because I'm pretty practical, pragmatic. I was born, raised a Christian. So when you die, you go up to the sky or you go down there. It's pretty, but in Seed of the Soul, it's like, when you die, you come back again and again until you figure it out. Oh, there's another book. I might get them confused, but basically, some form of reincarnation. And I was like, wow, I've never I only could have understood. It only would have hit me at this point in time. I don't think if I read that any other time because I'm not spacey supernatural shit. Usually, I'm pragmatic. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't solve this by luck. You need to know the sequence or the order. So don't tell me about luck and shit. But you know. I understand. I would say your vlogs are one of the best I've watched. That there's another reason. Oh, thank you, thank you. What is it? Namaste, something. Here's another one, right? So most of my friends, people I meet them, the real life, I see them. I can't even say that because I got friends that I have never met. But anyway, people that I meet on the street, people who see me perform, and I'll tell them, yeah, I do vlogs when I was doing the vlog thing, and they weren't impressed. They weren't interested. They could care less. They downplayed it. Like when I started to make money, I would make like $5. Like, whatever, that's nothing. and where and it got to me. It's like I was really focused on building up this channel, and no one cared. It it's hard. I mean, that's part of life, especially in the 365. I was like, like when you run a race, right? They're at the starting is like boom, and then you start running. They're not gonna run alongside with you for long. They're gonna go about their business. They might hit you in the midway point, and they might be there at the finish line. But the rest of that journey is just you and your mental, and that's like a life thing. But the 365 was kind of condensed in 1 year. But the YouTube thing, I just needed to keep going on, which it was hard. Because you ever notice there's really never anyone else in my videos. There's no one filming it. There's no one editing. It's just me, and it gets lonely. It's lonely at the top. It's lonely at the bottom. It's lonely making vlogs, and it like I'm in a good mood, really good mood. I mean, coronavirus is not nothing to be a good mood about, but I'm healthy, and the music, like I've never had all my music in one place. What's that mean? Like I have a table that holds, like my old house I used to live in, I had no table. So the beat machine's laid on the floor. I mean, I don't buy furniture. But in this new place, I had room for space. So I'm decorating, and I get out of bed and I come into here and I got my bookshelves. I'm in a good space. But yeah. Rambling on. I'll stand da dun da dun da dun da dun da dun da dun. All right. All right. Here we go. So here's a story. When I was in Temple University, it was I think I said this story, but whatever. I'm telling it again. It's actually like the lines, the way things are connected. So this is actually the reason I ended up in Japan. You say, shut the fuck. Nah, I would not lie to you. All right. So I go to Temple, and I'm a loner by choice. I just be doing my own thing. I'm a lone wolf. But I was like, you know what? I got to get out. It's college. Now I don't drink, so I got to hammer that in there. So anyway, so they had this like community day where everyone could come out and meet and greet. So I go out there by myself, and I'm just kind of lone wolfing it along, and then I see a table with, I think there's like 6 Rubik's cubes laid out. So I'm standing there, and the competition was you got to pick a color and get all the same side, one side. So I was like, okay, I could do that. So then the bell goes, and like go, and I'm like jump 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 jump, and I'm not even sweating. I'm like, this is shit. Bam, bam, right? So then the guy like, you win the prize. I don't even know what the prize was, but anyway, so I get the prize, and then there was this woman. It's weird, man. I always call girls girls because, but I'm trying to. So if there's any females in this feed, what I don't like calling girls bro. That's weird. I mean, that's the thing now. Women, but the story happens back in the past, so we are both kids in a sense. So we're a girl and a boy. But anyway, so there was this woman, Elsbeth, right? And she's like, "Oh my gosh, that's like so cool." I mean, she doesn't talk like that, but she does kind of talk like that. And she's like, "Wow, that's awesome. Where'd you learn?" And she's like, and I'm like, "Shit, wow, I met someone." And I'm all, and she's like, "Yeah, I do music." She doesn't really do music, or she never did. She was in a music program, but she never really did music. But anyway, I still love you, Els, if you're watching. So she invited me to meet her music friends, and I remember that day because it was scary. Like we were driving around, or I met all her friends, right? And I was, they're trying. You don't drink, you don't smoke. Oh my gosh, she was like, and I'm like, I'm just me. And then she would That would be my selling point. Yo, this is Matt. He doesn't smoke or drink. You believe that? And he's a dope rapper. He'd always big me up. So then she invited me to go to a party or to a house party. So we're driving, and it's cool because just I'm with I got a group of friends. I'm pretty. It was like the first week of school. So we um we we're driving and we go to the house, and this producer guy, he's up there and he has this beat machine, and we're talking beats like, yo, I got the MC 505 and I was the MC 303 or the 707. And I'm just like, yeah, that's cool. I wanted to get the 707, but and he understands what the hell I'm talking about. So he's like, all right, hold on. And he goes downstairs, and I'm just playing around with his beat machine, but he doesn't come back upstairs. So then I go down the steps and I go into the kitchen, and this guy, he's doing, I don't know what you snort out your nose, the white stuff, cocaine. I'm not sure. I don't do drugs. I don't know. But he's snorting. There's a line on the table, and he just and it's just like, what? And I step back out the kitchen, and I'm shook because I don't want to go to jail for that shit. Because then I'd be like, I was chilling in the kitchen, and this man, he was sniffing. Now I'm doing life in prison. I don't want to write those raps. So then he comes out and he's like wipes off his nose, and that's real shit, man. So then we're driving. This motherfucker starts bleeding out his nose, and I'm like, and then he passes out, and it's scary because I just not my people. And then I remember that night we're on the bed. She's on this side and I'm on that side, and I'm like, I don't know, something might happen or something might not happen. I don't know. Nothing happened because that's just how I rolled. Anyway, so eventually she would go off to Australia as a study abroad student. And she never came back. She goes, hey, I'm going to Australia. And we were talking through email. I'm like, when you coming back? Like, I'm never coming back. So that put the seed in my mind that I could travel the world because we're in the same program. So when the opportunity came that I could come out to Japan, I didn't go to Australia because nothing really appealed to me about Australia at that time. Now I want to go out there, but at this time, the reason I want to go out there, I'm jumping around because I shoot nudes, just in case y'all don't know, right? That was my thing. All right. So here's one of my pieces right there, and here's another. Actually, I don't even know sure if I could show this. There's nudity in it. All right, let's see what happens. All right, here we go. This one right there, something like that. So apparently in Australia, they got like nude beaches. There's this dude who does these massive nude artworks where like thousands of people be running around, not running out. They just 1,000 people get naked and they just like lay on the ground. In Australia, that's I want to go out there, man. Not for the koalas or the kiwis or the beaches. I want to shoot some shit on the beaches, but so yeah. So because of the Rubik's Cube, I met Els, and Els went to Australia, and because she never came back, it planted the seed that people can leave. So yeah, that's my story. All right, where we at here? I understand, but I'm gonna say your blogs. Yeah, I think I'm good off nude beaches. I think I'm good off nude beaches. Tomoka virtual hug. Hey, I'm getting a virtual hug. Let me give some virtual daps, virtual pounds. I'll take some virtual hugs. Yeah. Yeah. What was that? I think I'm good. More power to you, dude. Sounds like my title is, but I hate all the bugs. Man, Australia got all them killer things: killer snakes, killer spiders, killer scorpions, killer clouds, killer trees. Like like in my old house, like I live in Japan about 10 years now. I've never seen this, but at the old house, I came home. It's 11 o'clock. Just came from work. I warm up my food. I'm sitting in the kitchen. I see something scurry out the corner of my eye. I look over, and I know I'm not going crazy. So then I stand up, I start digging around, and then this spider the size of my hand is like, "Hey, man!" And he's all up on the wall, and I'm like, "What the?" It's because I've never seen this before, and I'm like, I don't know if it's gonna kill me, and it's like crawling on the wall, and I'm like, all right, just stay over there, stay over there. But it starts crawling over towards me, so I get a can of air spray, like the smell goods. I'm like, ah, die, motherfucker! And he keeps moving like I'm going to get you, and I'm like, ah, ah, ah. And then the lights, the little smoke detector starts beep 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 beep, and he's all coming towards me, and I'm spraying, and I'm starting to cough because the smoke's getting in my. And then he stops, and he's like. And then bam, he falls on the floor and he's like, ah. And I let him stay there for 3 days. I could not touch him. And then I posted on Facebook the picture of the dead one. And I took a picture of it alive. And my friends are all like, yeah, that's the spider that digs in your ears and lays eggs. Don't tell me that shit. And then like, yeah, there's bigger ones. I'm like, oh shit. If there's a small one, maybe there's a. So in Australia, I could imagine I'd be the person to find this, and they're not even the biggest. The little ones are the ones you got to worry about. They'll be in your shoe and your sock. Nah. But anyway, I can't live in fear, and I really do want to go out to this nude beach. So I'm gonna have to suck it up for the team nude. Have you seen his hornets? Yes, it was a wolf spider. But apparently they're harmless and they kill the cockroaches. But I don't got no cockroaches, and I could kill them myself. And they also said, if you see this spider, it's good luck. Japanese people tend to say that about almost every type of. It's good luck. It's a spider and it needs to die. But nowadays, so that was me. I was scared and I killed it. But 3 days later, I'm looking at it, and cockroaches do this. I guess most insects, they puff up their body. Maybe humans do this too, right? They trying to look all big. But when they're dead, they're all shriveled and not so big. And I felt compassion. I felt bad. Like, and this is weird because this might be Japan seeping into me. But it didn't do nothing. It didn't do me any harm. It just happened to be in my space. And technically it's its space because humans are building houses, right? So I apologize. I said, I'm sorry. I'm sorry I couldn't figure out a way to get you out the house. So then a couple months later, I saw another one outside my house. And at first, ugh, but then I'm like, hey, because it was just chilling out there. I'm like, listen, if you're looking for your brother, I'm sorry. I didn't mean anything. But feel free to go inside. Just leave before I get there. I'll be back. And I'm having this conversation. And then on the third day, I'm looking for him, like, hey, but he wasn't there. And then at this new house, I seen another one of those motherfuckers right out there. So I'm like, hey, what's up, man? Um, but yeah, spiders. What's the craziest thing you've seen in Japan? Giant hornets. I'm allergic to bees. Like Stand By Me. Allergic. Not was it Stand By Me? What's the movie where that kid got stung up out and bees and dies? Best friend, and he worked in a funeral. The girl worked in the funeral. Stand By Me. That's what the four boys. Either way, I'm allergic to bees. You see, I'm allergic. So anything that's flying, I try to I treat it as if it's gonna kill me. It's hilarious. I was doing a Instagram live when I was climbing a mountain to practice to climb Mount Fuji, and I saw this flying thing. It buzzed right, bzz. So I'm like dipping and diving, and it was like really muddy. And my nephew's watching. He's all like, he. No, we don't play around with anything, anything. So I yeah. But I did risk it. I had out my macro lens and I was trying to get a picture of a bee, like one of these bees. So I'm getting really as close as I can, but my heart is racing because this shit's gonna. What the fuck you staring at? Sting me, and I but yeah, Yeah, my girl. Yo, man, I need y'all to be like in my head. So that way, if I ever have some idea, it'd be like, you know that one thing? They're like, yeah. Boom, boom. Because I don't, the way I process my information is not just random like that. Craziest thing I've seen in Japan. Crazy, 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 crazy. Um, crazy. Well, it's not that crazy. I mean, in Japan, it happens a few times. I don't know what it is based on, but the sky is like pink and blue and like cotton candy. It looks kind of scary because it's sunset and it's just odd, beautiful, um, crazy, crazy, crazy. I mean, this is not my channel. It's not what I want to promote, especially in these times. But I'm just answering the question. Crazy. Um, So I'll start with the newest one and work my way back. So I was at the club after a shoot with some of the models. That night was the worst night of my life, but yeah. So anyway, we're at the club and we get split up, and I'm outside, and there's this white dude. I think he's military, big guy, and he's on the floor, and there's a stripper, Japanese stripper or pole dancer looking type woman, and she's yelling at him in Japanese. But she has this cute, but she's angry, but she's yelling at him, and he's like, I'm sorry, I didn't mean it." Like he's bigger than like he could like if he would do one of these, he would like crumble. But he's down there, and of course there's a big bouncer dude, Japanese guy, and this other guy and this other girl. She's like, and he's like, my bad, my bad. And he's so next thing she has like her little stilettos or whatever. She's like kicking him in the face, like, kada, kada, kada. And he's just sitting. It's like, "Ah." So from what I could have gathered from this, maybe he touched her because people get drunk in these little clubs and whatever, and he's all like grabbing on her booty or whatever, and then he runs outside and she's like da 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 da. So that was crazy because you usually don't see that. Usually you might see the him doing that, but you don't see the retaliation. But she's like, I don't give no fucks. So that was weird. Um, the same night, and it was crazy. So again, it was one of the worst nights I've ever had. So basically, after the shoot, I was talking to the models. I'm like, yeah, because it was a good shoot. We're all hanging out, chilling. I'm like, why don't we go to the club? Let's go dance. Like, yeah, let's go dance. Yeah, yeah. So then we walk up to the club. We're about 20 minutes from the club, Roppongi. We go up there, and as I said, I'm not getting into details, but the night was just yeah. So anyway, we leave and there's these three guys and they're like trying to take these girls that way, and I'm just like, we're not going that way, we're going this way because I don't know you guys, and you know, and they're like, why are you fucking cock blocking us, man? Like, hey, you like cock blocking? I don't know you. They came with me. We're leaving together. And I said, you guys want to go with them? Like, no. So we're leaving. Now there's three of those guys, three big guys and me, and then these two girls. So then the one guy gets in my face and he's like, you Americans think you're so fucking tough. And he's like all up in my face. And what's crazy is you ain't ever seen on my channel saying I beat people up and fight people and cut people out. That never been my MO. And if something would have went down, I probably would be the one on the ground, right? But I stood my ground. Like, listen, I mean, no disrespect, but we came together and we're leaving together. And so his friends like, don't mess with him, man. Don't. It was, I wasn't even bluffing, but I was just that collected, and it was a terrible night. So I already had I just want to get the fuck home and go to bed face. So that was crazy. It never happened before, and I don't think it ever happened again like that. But they walked away like he's pulling the guy away from me because yeah, that was crazy. Um, but I don't know. Crazy. I mean, Japan is Japan. It's a different country, so there's a kind of everything is crazy in context. Everything is different, but for the most part, um, this is a positive crazy. I dropped $50. Just dropped it. And then someone runs up to me and taps me. Tap, tap, tap. And I turn around, kind of like, what the fuck you want? That's, you don't tap people like that. And like, is this your money? And I look at it. Now I don't know if it's my money. I'm like, yeah, it's my money. And then I put in there and I open my wallet and it was my money. That's crazy. You know, in the States, ain't nobody tapping you. Or if you turn around, they'd be like, whatever, my bad. I thought you were someone important. So that was crazy. Um, ah, about 8 months ago, I was on the train doing my 365. I'm rapping, da da da. Oh, I'm writing the lyrics. I'm really excited to get off this train and write my lyrics. The doors open. I jump off the train, and then I'm like, what? I'm feeling a little light. My bag was on the train. I left it on the train. Inside my bag was one laptop, a GoPro, a 360 camera, a notebook, and a partridge in a pear tree. Sweater? I don't know. So that's on the train. There's nothing on it that says my name, and it's just off. So I go to the train station because you got to be quick about this. You ever lose something in Japan? Try to memorize. Now this is impossible because they always do this, but I'm telling you guys now. So you try to remember the location of where you got off the train. Take a picture of that. Remember the number that is written on. I don't know how you're going to remember this, but if you're prepared, you will, right? Take a picture. That way you'll timestamp and the geolock where you're standing. You could buy some app for that. And be calm and immediately go down to the station, dude. So I immediately do all that. Go down there. I'm like, yeah, I lost my bag. It's on the train. It just left. Um, and then this guy pulls out one of those little translator thingies, little eggs, and he'd be like, Denwa Bango. Like, motherfucker, I know what that is. My phone. Like, he's using it for simple phrases, which I know. And it was stressful because every moment that we're talking about these, whatever. So eventually he's like, I'm just standing there kind of shocked. Like, how can I be so stupid? And he keeps standing there just looking. Are you okay? Are you okay? No, I'm not okay. I lost my computer. What am I gonna do, man? I'm thinking. So he won't leave. So I take the translation thing and I'm like, I do not mean to be a bother, but you are bothering me. Could you please remove yourself from this situation because you're pissing me off? I don't mean to be rude, but obviously you cannot. I'm going on this little translate. I see him as said that, and it it translated into Japanese, which is crazy because technology is. So probably if you ain't been to Japan and you're coming like after the fact, coming in a couple years, these little eggs will be all over the place. But then the next day, I did get my bag, and again, crazy because if I was in New York, I lost. Someone stole my bike on my porch because I left it there for 5 minutes when I went home to go to the bathroom in Pennsylvania. That's where I come from. So, yeah. What is this beta test of? Dan Dirt. Uh, Dan, where are you from? I want to know where everyone's come from. All right, these beta tests are basically testing what is the best way to do these. So right now, I'm using my computer and I'm standing in a room. Sometimes I have my beat machines. When it gets warm, I'm gonna test trying to go outside. When I get some really high speed internet, I can start doing some cool dropping some videos and feeds and all that shit. But yeah, just trying to get it right. And I got tested live, so beta test. Philippines, that's another place I want to visit. I shot a lot of models from the Philippines. Well, not that many. Most of my models are coming from Australia, Europe, Canada. Speaking of trains, have you rode? Yeah, yeah. They're expensive. When I used to go to Osaka, when I had a show down there, my first show was the reason I went to Osaka. I didn't go before until I had a show. So I'm looking at ways to go. Take a train, you could take the plane, you could take a night bus. You could take a day bus, but who got time for day bus? So I get on this night bus. I'm not that tall, but basically I'm sleeping like this for 8 hours at night. So when I get down there, I'm all like, I'm not refreshed feeling, you know? And then and then I got the show on the same day. So eventually I started, you know what? Why the hell am I taking a night bus because it's cheap? Let me do this in luxury. So I get on the Shinkansen. It's nice. You get on a train and pew and then pew. I also forgot my I bought some chocolates for my teachers, omiyage souvenirs. Left it on the Shinkansen. I fall asleep and wake up and but yeah. Let's see here. So I can't get the rail passes. I live here. I got to pay normal people prices. Do you still hang out with GH Ralph? Anytime I go down to Kyoto or Osaka, I hit him up like, "Hey, I'm coming down here," and usually he'll come out. We'll chop it up. Um, he hasn't come to Tokyo because the offer was there too. If you ever come down to Tokyo, let's chop it up. But he hasn't come down here. But yeah, but when I last time I was down in Osaka, we linked up, and it was cool, man. You know, it was cool. Like honest to God, if there, let's see here. When I started doing vlogs, and then I started seeing people were making money, I thought I need to like chop off my left pinky before YouTube would start giving me some money. And then I was talking to Ralph, like, "Yo, I make money." Like, "How much you make?" He's like, "I make X amount." Like, "Oh shit." Like, well, if you can make money, fuck, I know I can make some money. Not saying disrespectful, but at that time there was no black people really posting, making videos like that. So I thought YouTube was just being YouTube, whatever. So if this black man can make money, then I'm sure I can. And then I started to make my pennies, and they got the dollars. And then at the height, I was making $200. And then it kind of dropped down with some new algorithm that YouTube implemented, which kind of pissed me off. That's another reason I kind of stopped making videos because I was going up this, making that money, and then it went, dropped. Yeah. Are you going to continue your podcast? Podcast. Podcast. I did a podcast a long time ago, because I was going through some shit and I thought I need to put it out there in the world. But I was using iTunes, and iTunes gives you no way to check how many people are watching. So it felt like nobody was watching, and it felt even worse because I'm going through some shit. So I gave up. But then I would meet people like, yeah. I heard your podcast. I want to do a podcast. I mean, technically, this is like a podcast. And next month, next paycheck, assuming things, I'm being hopeful. Coronavirus will kind of go away. Life will get back to normal, kind of. But I'm gonna get a table, right? A long table like this, and maybe I'll green screen the background. It depends if I can get it to look clean, because I want to buy all these lights or whatever. So I have a table, and I could do a podcast just like this. Have a little table and do it. Or I could do it like this. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah. All right. Did I miss anything? We got my girl. Oh yeah. Where does that ladder lead? Leads to heaven, man. Just climb up there and you're in heaven, and you come back down. Nah, it's a loft. So when I moved into this place, it's basically the same price as my old place. It's cheaper than the places I was buying or renting when I first moved to Japan, but it's bigger. So on this loft, it's like a half loft. So I put all the boxes and all my supplies for shit. And underneath it, there's some closets, and I could put some shit inside there. And then on the in the other room, the loft is um, a full loft, so I sleep on top of the loft. And then this room is the studio room, and then that room is the it'll be the it's big enough where I could actually put up a kind of small photo studio. I had about 3, 4 shoots since already, but it's not big enough. So if they're too tall, there's no way for me to get their whole bodies in there. We're supposed to Osaka summer. I hope the virus. I'm hoping the virus will be gone too, man. And Osaka's a great place. It's. I want to spend like a month down there. I only go. The longest I've been in Osaka might have been 3, 4 days. Usually there's an event. I go and then just come back. I make a lot of instruments and music for instrumental. When I go, would you be down? Yeah, yeah. That'd be great. Wait. I make a lot of instruments and music. Instruments. Like you make trumpets and pianos? Cause that's dope. Or you mean like you make instrumentals, which is also dope. But either way, well, yeah, let's do it. Um, you been in Japan for a while. You ever get your master's there? How to use your master's degree in your career now? Yes, I've been here for 12 years, 12 and a half. At one point, I was telling people 10 because it's just a nice decade, but I did the math. No, it's 12 years. 2 years just kind of disappeared. The lost years. Yeah, I got my master's 4 years ago, 5 years ago, 4 years ago. Like time is just let's see, what did the master's directly related? Working at Sony or teaching at Sony, teaching at Apple, um, or just so the job is the company is a dispatch company and they send me to different places for these temp contracts. When I went to the interview, I was doing the master's and she was like, "Oh my gosh, that is like so great that you're out here in Japan doing stuff." And I was also studying from Japanese. So she was like, "Super, you're so motivated." And then she's like, "I love your voice. You have such a nice voice. Like it's just so soothing." It's like, "What?" But she left eventually. But yeah, so because I had the masters, I was able to intrigue her. I probably could have got the job other ways, but there's a piece of paper that says I got whatever. Um, it didn't really do much for me for a while because it was disruptive to the way I think. So usually, if I was gonna do some album or something, like here's the last project I did. I put all my music on a little USB tape. Now, if it was before, I would have the price wouldn't have been an issue. I would just buy it and try to sell it. If I didn't sell it, then it just stays in a box, and eventually I'm giving it away, and life goes on. But after the masters, it's like, what is your potential outreach, and who are your potential customers, and what is the? I couldn't turn it off. I couldn't. So then a lot of projects didn't happen for about 2 years, the lost years. And YouTube was kind of in it. It's like, well, my potential is I couldn't figure it out. And then eventually it's like, whatever. I'm an artist. Artists lose money. It's a bad way to think, but it is what it is. But now a lot of those thoughts are coming back like they're like little worms, caterpillars, and now they're blossoming into like I'm reading this book on the music business and the terms, everything is just melting together. So it's yeah. And a lot of people, I get this a lot. They'd be like, "So you're still a teacher? Didn't you go to business school? Shouldn't you be making like 5 figures?" Eh, that it was never about the money. Like a lot of things I do is not about the money, which sucks because we need money to do things. Like if I was making money, like if I had an income from the things, I would be able to do other things that would be even more exciting and interesting. But since I don't have the money to do it, it makes it difficult to do those things. It's this stupid cycle, you know. So yeah. So yeah, that's the long and short about that. How much the instruments? Okay. How much is the cost of living? Don't mean to be intrusive, but did quality of living improve in Japan? Of course it improves in Japan. Japan is like, well, I don't know which quality of living. Um, I've been here for 12 years and it's always been good. Um, Now, of course, if you live in an old house, that sucks because it's drafty in the winter, cold. Their medical system is pretty good. I'm not on it technically. Technically, I don't. I've been here 12 years. I've never been sick. Well, I gotta say, I've been here for 12 years. I've only been sick once, and that's because my friend who just came back from the States gave me the gift of influenza, and that was like, as I said, I've never been sick. So that whole time, I didn't even know I had influenza. I was just like trying to do the things, just noticing, damn, body, what is wrong with you? Come on. I'll be walking to the store like an old man. Then I checked on the internet and it's like, oh yeah, you got influenza. Like, oh fuck. First thing I did was got Campbell's soup. Cost me $20 to get a can from Amazon. Yeah. But but medical, it's cheaper. Everyone's insured if they're on the plan. If you're joined, oh shit. The question about teaching in Japan, I forgot about that one. All right, we'll go there. So teaching in Japan, things you should know, shouldn't know. I always say this, and I'm gonna keep hammering hammering this down. All right, number one, these companies are not your friend. Write that on your skin. Right, these companies are not your friend. They're just companies. They're. Now you say, Matthew, are you being so? No, they're not your friend. They're not. They're your friend when they hire you. They're your friend when they want you to do something, but the minute that the minute you want something, they're gonna hit you with that protocol. Well, I'm sorry, sir, but this is what happens. And now, if it's a small company, then they might be your friend. But if it's a big company, you're just one of many. But don't be discouraged because that means you have no allegiance to that company. That means when it's time for you to leave, don't be. Oh, I feel bad about. No, just do what you got to do because they're going to do what they got to do. Now, with that being said, don't come out here and be all stupid about shit. Um, the pay is not great, and um, if you have family, it might be tough. Um, if you want to do stuff, like I don't do anything. This is what I do. I sit in my house. This is the first poster I bought in 10 years. That's the second one. I buy my toys. I eat. I don't eat that much. But if for whatever reason you like to eat good fancy food and you want to go to trips to Hokkaido and you want to take the Shinkansen, and then you're probably going to have to make some other cutbacks. You can't do all, or get a second job or a third job. I got 3 jobs. Yeah. Um, Teachers, as far as the teaching goes, their job, it's case by case. Like the school I was teaching at, I was there for 4 years, and I was forced to leave because that's just what the company, got to leave, got to go to the next school. So I get to start all the way at the bottom again. But this school, for whatever reason, because leading up to this, I'm thinking, why did this school and I gel so well? Because I don't go out of my way to do shit. I don't over deliver, but I don't under deliver. I do what I do. The kids like me. So this environment was great. I came when I wanted to come. I left when I wanted to leave within reason. Like if we have no classes scheduled, why do I need to be there at 7 o'clock? I mean, 8 o'clock. Okay, 9 o'clock. So I might come in at 9:10, 9:15, 9:30. I might do some errands in the morning. Or if classes are finished at 12, I might leave a little early, but the company will say you got to stay between the times of when you're contracted, which they're right. But if the school and you have some kind of rapport, then anything goes. Some teachers would go drinking with the principal. One of the teachers I worked with, she we talked. So, but it's case by case, and it, like I feel bad for the person who's coming after me because they might want the Matthew. What's the Matthew? Matthew is basically he's chill. If you ask Matthew, can you build me a sculpture of the Eiffel Tower in 10 minutes? Matthew say, okay. Now, don't expect it to look like the Eiffel Tower, and don't expect gave me 10 minutes, but I'll do it because it's a challenge. I like the challenge. And don't criticize me after the fact because you gave me 10 minutes. And then boom, here's the Eiffel Tower. And oh, looks good. But he only had 10 minutes. I have no issue with that. Other schools, can you do this thing in 10 minutes? Sure. Why does it look like shit? Because you gave me 10 minutes. Um, Fakeness. Some schools are super fake. Oh, we love you. We love you. Oh, we love you. But they don't love you. This school, on my birthday, the teacher gave me a camera, one of those little old school cameras that the principal, when she would go off, like she traveled the world, like she would go to like multiple countries. So when I come back from summer vacation or Christmas vacation, she'd come over and she'd be showing me pictures of her and her husband, but then she'd kind of hide her face because, keep it casual. But so yeah, that school, I'm going to miss that school. And then the kids are great. And I when I gave my little speech about why I'm going to miss the school, and I said this throughout the years. The reason why the kids are so great is because the faculty is great. And when you have a great faculty, it seeps into I was saying this in English, and they understand the concept. Because when you have bad teachers, you get bad kids, bad seeds. It's the cycles. So really, to sum it up, it's case by case. You might get a bad school, and it's gonna fuck up everything. But what I would recommend in that case, when you leave the doors, like when you finish school, school's done. Your work is done now. Because most people, you're not coming to Japan to teach English. That's not what you came here for. Let's be honest. You said what you got to say to get the job, and now you're here. You got your visa, but you came here to explore Japan. You came here to meet people. You came here to. So that's what you're here for, and that's what you should double down on. And I think that's what worked for me. When I left school, I went to the studio. When I left school, I was going to the show. When I left school, I was doing something. So, but I will say this manager guy who has no name. I hope he leaves, but I think he'll still be here. He just, I had a problem and I needed help. And he was telling me policy. Well, we're sorry, we cannot help the people that, and it just, and I, I made up my mind. I'm quitting. There's no need because I already knew I won't have the same school. So, whatever. I can go teach. I have another job, so I could. But it's not the best move. Anyway, so we're talking, and I go home and I can't get it out of my brain because just what a fucking idiot. So then I come back to school and I'm just trying to process. He's mad, but he just pulled it out of me. And I'm like, I am not calm. You're calling me at work. You're stressing me out. And he's like, why am I stressing? So then I wrote an email saying, listen, I want to know how does a person go about um canceling or quitting, resigning? So then he calls me again. You're gonna quit? Why are you gonna quit? I said, I'm gonna quit because of you. You. Now, this guy in particular, everyone, when they have that time, because before talking to him, I heard about him and we never had any issue. So I gave him the benefit of the doubt, whatever. But then when we were talking, he really is that way. And he pulled out that side of me, and now we don't talk. I see him now. He's my manager, and there got to be some level of respect in that, whatever. But he um he doesn't say hi to me. I don't say hi to him. We kind of look past each other because there's just no reason. And now, because I'm probably older than him or the same age, so he's talking down to me. Anyway, so yeah, that's my spiel on teaching in Japan. I have to go. Bye bye. Let's see here. Blah Blargat. Blargat. I'm not a citizen, but I'm working on it. I've been working on it forever, but that is the plan. All right. Good night, Tom. Well, it's daytime. Assuming you're in Japan. Tomoka, good night. Uh Dan Dirt. Yo, good show. What up, Earl? Uh let's see. That would make me slap him too. Oh my I'll tell you this, man. If this is it's in the past. It was last season. This is the new season. But if he does, for whatever reason, get on my nerve, I'm a figure out a way to get everyone to sign one of those little petitions and tell their stories about how he's a dick, and he will lose his job. But the thing is, I don't want to. He's just doing his job, and we're doing our job, and we just got to find a way that we all could live happily ever after. So just leave me alone. That's all. But anyway, have the women changed in Japan? Have the women changed? Uh, I, I don't know. I don't know. Uh, yeah, okay. I guess yeah. I guess everyone's changing. Social media, Tinder, exposure. Like maybe when I came 10 years ago, the chances of me meeting someone who never met another foreigner or dated another foreigner was pretty high. But now there seems to be more foreigners here and more people traveling and they mingle. So I'm not the first foreigner they met or interacted with. Social media opens the windows to many different cultures. Working out more? No, no, I'm still Matthew shaped. I was telling myself from April I'm gonna start eating more fish because my diet does consist of pasta, rice, and bread. That's right, pasta, rice, and bread. All the foods that store in your body are my staple foods. But yeah, I mean, are the women working out now more? Sorry, yeah, yeah. I mean, but I'm the wrong person to ask because, as I said, I sit in this room. If I ain't making a vlog, I've been on here for like what, for 10 hours? Not 10 hours. But if I ain't doing this, I'm making music, and if I ain't making music, I'm at work, and if I ain't working, I'm reading. So yeah. Well, I guess I could. Nah, I can't say that. I'm the wrong person to ask about that one. Do you still hit the night scenes? Enjoy the nightlife? Nah. I the thing about night, I like music. I like going to the club and hearing what's new, what's popping, seeing what people are dancing to. But the clubs are changing. Like the club I used to go to, I'd be the only foreigner there. Yeah, I said it. I don't like being with other foreigners in the club. Well, it depends on the type of foreigner, but there's a certain type of foreigner that you go to the club and they be like, just I don't know. It's just I don't like seeing what they do because it just looks bad on all the other foreigners in it. And if there's a bunch of foreigners, it's kind of like so there's been an increase in foreigners at the one spot I used to go to. They changed up the layout. Like they used to have this room that's only hip hop, where they actually play Wu Tang every 13 song or whatever. Now they made it into like this all mixed thing that's mostly EDM sounding, whatever. So yeah. Plus, I like sleeping. Like I when I go out to the club, I like to go home before last train, which no one's ever there before last train. But I really like getting up and having a fresh start in life. Um, Also, the age is different. I'm 38. So when I go out to the clubs, they're 20 somethings, 20 year olds and all that. And we're on different wavelengths, you know. I can't, it's not like I could find them in the club and be like, okay, now that we're together, you cannot go to the club anymore. We're going to enjoy domesticated life. Like that ain't happening. Man, there's always been hip hop clubs in Japan. That's not gonna change. It's crazy because you would think there's no hip hop in Japan because the way the media would portray hip hop culture, but when you go to the club, it's hip hop in Japan. That's what they play. I mean, they got their EDM, but hip hop is has been a staple in the clubs. I don't see that changing anytime soon. All right. Let's see here. They're annoying because they have bad egos. They bring the wrong vibe. Yeah. All right, man. Man, I could do this all day, but I'm probably going to jump over to the music side because I want to test this setup with the music side. But thank everyone who was in here and listening to me rambling and the questions and yeah. So be safe. These times are crazy, but there are things we can do to make it less crazy. So, wash your hands, mask up, mask on. I wonder if that song got any more play now. Mask. Stay inside, don't go out. Friends to stay inside, you know, try to whatever. Support all your people. There's so many people making vlogs and all this. So support them if you can. Let them know that it's not in vain. Yeah. All right, thank you. Maybe we could do these every again, I on a normal day I wouldn't be here at this time, but we'll figure something out. All right, people. Uh Last question. In your song, somebody was that based on a real event? Someday, somewhere, not now. Nah, that was based on Superman. Uh, Someday, somewhere, not now. Let's see. Let me come back. Let's see. All right. So the girl that's singing on that hook, she was a super shy girl, and but she could sing like she could sing, right? So she reached out to me like, I really want to sing, da 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 da, and I'm like, all right, I got you. So I got the beat from someone, I forget his name, but shout out to the guy who made the beat, and I wrote the hook for her to sing first, and I gave it to her, and she said somewhere, and she was like killing it in the little demo she sent me. And then the lyrics, I just watched Superman, and that's died on a different Earth. Like if you listen to the lyrics, it kind of mirrors the Superman on maybe the Snyder version. I'm not sure, but yeah, that one is just storytelling. Someone got jumped. I just put that in there. Just or jumped during a fight. So usually those are just whatever. But most of the relationship songs, they're based on like they're 365 where I'm like, yeah, we're sitting in the grass looking at the sky, the color of a Smurf's ass. We went and got tacos and said tomorrow, and then I never met her again. That's a true story, man. True story. She like ripped my heart out, like, and then any song where I'm talking like where that one ended on some happy note, but anytime a relationship song ends on a bad note, I'm talking specifically about this one person. Let's just say because of her, I started the 365 a year later. Like she really got in my head, really got in my head. She got me all fucked up. So anytime I need that angst, I could just open up that folder. But for the most part, most of my girlfriends, they it's only love and respect and peace and forgiveness and just so that's where usually where all the songs. But anything that's evil is coming from her. But I do hope she's doing okay in these terrible times. But oh my gosh, yeah. But yeah, oh man, we all been down there, man. That is universal. That's what the 365 kind of. Because a lot of my topics are not universal. Like I can make a whole song about Rubik's cube, but that really applies to the those people, us people, you know. But relationships, that's one topic that everyone knows. But there is this one. I'm gonna keep going on and on. But this is my last story, and I'm gonna jump off because yeah. So I did this one shoot. There's one guy. He's from Atlanta, and he was playing this video game, and like one of those Call of Duty. I don't know. I never played them, but you talk to people as you play, and he met this person in Korea, this girl, and they're talking, and eventually they start talking offline, and then he decides I'm gonna go visit her, and he goes all the way to Korea to meet her, and then he comes back. And then she goes all the way to Atlanta to meet him, and then she goes back. And then I reached out to her because she was coming to Japan. I'm like, hey, you want to be a model? Blah 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 blah. She's like, yeah, can my boyfriend come? I'm like, of course, why not? So then they both come, and they meet here, and he's like 19, and he's just in love, man. He's just like you could see the love in his eyes, and like I don't know, man. I know what pain feels like. I know what love feels like. I don't know his story, but I just hope that if it doesn't work out, he doesn't like lose his shit, go Kanye West crazy. Because you know. Anyway, again, thank you guys for watching. It has been fun. I miss this. Be safe. And I gotta walk towards here. I don't want to walk. It's weird, man. I just want to push a button. We'll figure it out. All right, peace. Rhyming, walking in close, and 2 hours. Peace.